good morning. Welcome and thank you for joining us on Morning Ride Wednesday's edition. It's midweek, y'all, and it's that time we'll reach out to you with beautiful features that will educate, entertain, and inform you. And so, on behalf of board, management, and staff of Delta Broadcasting Service, DBS Asaba, this is Onome Iyaruwe, welcoming you on behalf of the crew and my co-presenter, Perpetua Iboba.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you?
I'm fine.
It's a brand new day.
It is.
Yes, and we're set to actually inform, educate, and entertain our audience this
That's
morning.
right.
All right, so we'll kickstart with our very first, right?
Yes.
Street talk.
Street talk. This has to do with bullying in
Yes.
schools. Yes.
Dealing with bullying in schools
Yeah.
is one issue that has been on, and there is always a way to handle issues, especially when they become rampant, when they reoccur. But this time we took the question to the street to actually ask, what are the ways to curb bullying in schools, just in case school authorities have been believed not to be doing enough as it concerns bullying in schools. Well, what they brought back from the streets will amaze you. Even among students, they barred their minds on how to curb bullying in schools. All right, once we're done with street talk, we'll take on papers today, the trending headlines in our national dailies this morning. We'll take them, and of course, we'll talk about the ones that affect us directly. And then, Pepe, once we're done with that, we'll move on to our guest interview.
Yeah.
Guest interview this morning, we'll be talking with the Honorable Commissioner for Technical Education, harnessing the more agenda through technical education in
Right.
Delta State. And once we're done with that, we'll say our goodbyes. Pepe, you're kind of very quiet this morning. Yes.
Yeah, but I'm good. I'm good actually.
Are you sure you're excited about reaching out to our viewers with what we have this morning?
That's why we're
100%.
here. That's why we're here actually.
100%.
100%.
All right, so let's go now. We go over to our streets with Becky Osifo on dealing with bullying in schools. Please stay with us this morning.
Male make it juicy.
Good day. Welcome back to another episode on Street Talk on Delta Television, the People's Pride. My name is Rebecca Osifo, and today's topic is bullying across schools in Nigeria. So bullying simply means treating people poorly or badly intentionally. So people just pick up on people for no good reasons. And many students in this country go through bullying and they refuse to speak up, not because they are scared or they don't want to, but the fact that this bullying can continue and even get worse, so they just refuse to keep quiet. So today we are in the streets of Asaba to get people's opinion on this topic. What do you understand by the word bullying?
Well, for my own definition, bullying can be treating somebody bad or treating the person wrongly or like treating them in a way that they don't like.
Okay. Have you had any experience being bullied?
No.
No. So what do you think schools, like you are a student, if there are bully cases in your school, what do you think the school can do to reduce the cases of bullying?
Well, I advise schools to like fish them out, punish them or get them expelled.
Okay. So for advice to people that are being bullied, to students like you that are being bullied, what do you advise them to do when they are being bullied in school?
Well, I advise them that they should not be afraid of anybody, that they should only speak up anytime they are being
They
bullied.
should speak up.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. What does bullying mean to you?
To me, I would say bullying is intentionally hurting someone or fighting the person intentionally.
Okay, are you a student?
No,
But you went through secondary school.
yeah.
Okay. What do you think in schools? What do you think a school can do to reduce bullying cases?
Well, they should punish the students that bully others. They should try to give them, they should expel them too, so that to reduce the
Okay. What's your advice to victims of bullying?
I feel like they should speak up, maybe talk to their parents, their teachers, their principal, to know what they can do about bullying.
If your child come home to you and say, "Oh, mommy, they are bullying me. Somebody slapped me in school. Somebody keeps threatening me." What would you do as a mother?
I'll go to the school authority for them to find out what exactly is the problem.
After,
Then, if possible, invite the parents of the
that's
child.
of the
Yes,
bullies.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
That would also help the school.
Yes, and make
Um,
sure they take it to the next step so that next time it won't happen again.
won't happen.
Because if in any scenario, maybe my child comes home,
Yes.
whether maybe injured or whatever, I will not take it lightly. First of all, report to school authority. If they don't take any action, then I will not take action. So that's
Please,
it.
what's your advice to students that are being bullied in schools? What do you think they should do?
Another thing is that the Bible says train up a child in the way he should grow. Taking care of the child is not just the responsibility of the mother,
Yes.
and also the teachers are also responsible for it. But the primary place for training up a child depends on the parents. If the parents are not available in the child's future in bringing up that child, there's a very big disadvantage. Most parents, they leave their children for nannies and all of that for them to take care of. That is why the issue comes in. You understand? But most parents, they're always working, they don't get time for their children. For such things, they need to query the child because they need to query the parents. Yes, because for that child not to have that upbringing, it is the responsibility of that parent.
So know what's going on.
Exactly.
In the life of their children.
That's just it. So
Do you also think because the child did not speak up, so the parents are not aware of?
exactly, and parents need to create that mother and
Awareness.
child relationship. Exactly, and it's very, very
So they'll be able
important
to open up to
exactly,
them.
the children will be able to open up to them, for them to say, okay, Mom, this is what is happening in school or stuff like that. I think that will help.
Thank you
And
very
the
much.
teachers too as well.
They should learn to speak to
Yes,
their
they should,
students.
yes, exactly. They should talk to parents. Sir, your child came to school, look at what the child said or whatever. Maybe because of things and this thing affect the children. And most children, they come from abusive home. So it's what they see their parents
Doing.
And maybe the father is always oppressing the mother, stuff like that. So that will also affect the child.
What do you understand by the word bullying?
It's the act of like hurting someone through words or physical bullying or any other word. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. As a student, have you been bullied before?
I'm not sure, no.
No. Okay. Have you bullied someone before?
No.
Okay. So in cases where you are being bullied, what would you do as a student?
Like I'll first go to maybe the teachers in high authorities. I'll go there and maybe report about the case of bullying.
Okay.
And tell them that maybe if I've heard of some, I'll now bring out some of the cases and give to the teacher.
Okay. So if someone is bullying you now, you walk up to your teacher and tell them. What about your parents? Would you tell your parents?
Yes, I'll tell my parents, but I should tell the teacher first before the parents.
Okay. So for you, in a school that has many cases of bullying or even few cases of bullying, what do you think the school should do to reduce those cases?
They should like punish the offenders. They should punish the offenders so, like other people do not do the same. And they should also like and suspend them like 1 week or 2 weeks. So I should learn.
they should suspend them. They shouldn't expel or anything.
No, expelling will be too much.
Why?
You know that parents, they pay school fees, they do all these things. So expelling them is like the school fees will not be there again. So they should just suspend them, then later they'll come back to school.
Yes,
If they continue, apology letter. But if they continue the thing, maybe can think about suspending the person.
So it's like give them chances.
Yes.
So when you give them this chance and they do it again, you
Yes.
cannot expel them. Okay, thank you very much. As a mother, if your child comes home to you and tell you, oh mommy, I was slapped, or somebody is bullying me in school, what would you say? What would you do? What would be your reaction?
What you do first, you try to find out what happened. Then maybe next time, as a mother, you go to the school because you are supposed to be close to maybe the teacher, your baby teacher. Then you find out what happened. Then you try to, as in, know what you can do. The child that is bullying your child, then you call them together. Then you advise them that you tell them that bullying is not good, that they should stop fighting, that you try to teach them that bullying is bad, that they should stop it, they shouldn't try it next time. Yes. If you didn't stop again, then maybe you can change your child from that school.
Yes, ma'am. Ma, in a school where they keep bullying students, or maybe 1 or 2 cases of bullying has occurred before, what can the school do to reduce those cases of bullying?
What they can do?
Yes, ma'am.
It means that the teachers, either the owner of the school or the teacher, is not putting eye for them. Yes. Because assuming they are correcting them, flogging them, it's not easy to be a teacher. Teacher is not everybody work. So if they can't do it, I don't know.
So they should keep a close eye on their students to know what's going on with them.
Of course.
Do you think the children should be punished or expelled from the school, or they should just advise them to stop doing these things?
At first, you have to. That's the owner of the school and the teachers in that. They have to punish them. If you don't punish, if you don't flog, that means maybe next time before you come, you see that maybe somebody have died in your school. So definitely they must be punished. When you punish, and sometimes the parents, they will come and be complaining. Yes, if the parents is supporting the child, what the owner of the school have to do is to expel the child before something else happens.
What do you understand by the word bullying?
Bullying is a situation where a student maltreats another student, perhaps because he's stronger physically or otherwise. Instead of reporting the student to the authority of the school.
Okay, so we've heard some cases of bullying across schools across Nigeria. In a school where there are cases like that, what do you think the school authorities should do to reduce these cases?
Enlightenment will go a long way to letting students know that a child that is not under your care, you are not supposed to beat the person, least maltreating the person.
Yes, sir.
Importantly, even we adults, I came to realize by experience that if a child is not actually handed over to you, you don't have right to beat or punish the child. Rather, you report the child to the appropriate authority, maybe the parents, the guardian, or whoever the child is under. So the students are not supposed to maltreat their fellow students. In a situation where this happens, as I said earlier, one, there is need to reorientate the children. They should not do what the law. The authority of the school should ensure that a child that bullies should be treated appropriately. The needed punishment should be meted on the child, and that will be a deterrent to other students.
Yes, sir. So as a father, sir, if your child comes home to you and tell you, oh daddy, there's a fellow student bullying me in school, I have told my teachers about it, but they are not doing anything. In that case, what would you do?
In such case, I will reach out to the school authority. Yes, I will need to know whether such complaint was actually handed over to them, what they did, and at the same time, advise or advocate a better way if they didn't handle it well. That's what I would do.
The truth be said, they said once bitten, twice shy. I've had an experience of something like this. I lost my first son to assault from a school years back. So whenever I hear about bullying, I take it personal. For me, I think government should actually intervene in this matter with utmost priority, because it's so absurd. Like when you send your child to school, coming back with bruises and sometimes are dead. So I think government should bring special people to always go and foresee things going on in school. And also parents should also be aware of their children. There's what the communication with your child will make the child to be free with you, to tell you what is happening in his or her school. But when you're always busy with whatever you see, your child will not be free. And also fright from parents. When I say parents, I know why I'm saying parents. If you make your child your friend, your child should be free to communicate with you when a bully bullies him or her in school. So I think while government is also intervening, parents should also do their own job.
So as a student, if you are being bullied right now, like you are being bullied in school, what would you do?
I'd rather tell my parents and the teachers to take action.
Okay, so you will speak up to your parents. So in a school, if bullying cases keep getting higher and higher, what do you think the school should do to reduce those cases?
Either punish them or I think expelling them.
We should expel the students.
Yes.
That would create awareness to others.
And warning to the students.
To the students.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so you know the meaning of bullying and all of that. Have you been bullied before?
No.
Nah. Have you bullied someone before?
No.
No. Okay. So if you were being bullied in school, what would you do?
I'll report to my nearest teachers, like the close ones, like my mentors mostly.
Okay.
Then if they are not available, then I'll report to my parents, because I'm very sure that my parents are going to take action.
Take actions.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think schools should do to reduce these cases of bullying? Because it's everywhere. Every day you see cases of, oh, this person was bullied, this student was beaten. What do you think the schools should do?
They should be given severe punishments, and if that's not going to help, they should expel such students.
So they should punish them first, and then when they repeat it, they can expel them.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. What does bullying mean to you?
This is intentionally hurting someone for your own personal gain.
Okay. So for example, your sister, your junior sister or your junior brother walks up to you and tell you, oh sis, they are bullying me in school. A fellow student slapped me today and I tried to retaliate, but my teacher didn't do anything. What would you do?
Okay, take it up to the principal or the headmaster, the owner of the school.
Okay.
Take immediate actions.
Okay. So what's your advice to a student being bullied?
To students being bullied,
yes,
they should stand up for themselves.
They should speak up.
Speak up.
Okay, they should speak up, stand up for themselves.
Yes.
All right. For schools that have these cases, what do you think they can do to reduce the cases of bullying?
They should take it up to the principal, the owner of the school.
Should they punish the students or
they should punish the students, expel them? They should expel the students. Stop the act.
And that's what people had to say about bullying across the schools in Nigeria. It is an issue that needs serious attention, not just only from the parents, but also from the schools. And as a student, if you are getting bullied in schools or anywhere, just let your parents know. If you're not comfortable with your parents, you can meet your uncles, your aunties, your siblings. Do not keep this to yourself, because the more you keep it to yourself, the more you get hurt and you hurt people around you, because anything can go wrong. My name is Rebecca Osifo, and thanks for watching.
J Male make it juicy.
You know, all right, welcome back. Street talk right there, and you heard what our residents actually said about dealing with bullying in schools. Yes, a lot has to be done from individual parents to the students to the school authorities before you can even talk about what government can do to curb bullying in schools. Pepe?
I feel like
Yeah.
everybody has roles to play
Exactly.
in bullying, from the students, like you said, to the teachers
parents.
and the parents.
Yes.
But most importantly, I feel the students, they need to start speaking up for themselves, because
Yes.
it's when they speak up, their parents and their teachers will get to know what is going on, and then they have immediate intervention before it gets worse.
Yeah, that's true. All of these things we've been talking about, people actually need to understand, especially, I will give it to parents, especially parents. Parents need to pay more attention to their children, especially when they get aggressive at that early stage. The aggression will keep increasing, and this kind of acts are carried out by such children who actually have these aggressive tendencies. So parents, especially mothers, pay more attention to your children's character, their attitude. And then for the ones that are going through bullying, victims of bullying actually, you can speak up. You can't confide in your parents, confide in your teachers. It's not something, Pepe, that only the children can actually deal with, because we hear that most of such victims are even threatened the more by the ones who bully them. But no matter the threat, speak up. That's the way to go. And we truly hope that this issue will be dealt with frontally, so to put a stop to it in schools. All right, we'll move on now to paper review. We have a couple of papers to review this morning. We'll read out the headlines from the Punch newspaper, This Day newspaper, the Daily Sun.
We also have the Nigerian Tribune, we have the Daily Trust, the New Telegraph, Daily Independent, and the Vanguard.
The Vanguard.
newspaper.
All right, we'll kickstart with the Punch newspaper. The Punch. All right, the headlines making the Punch newspaper this morning. The major one says, pre-primary screening, tension mounts as APC panels disqualify over 150 aspirants. That story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. The riders include screening fallout rocks states ahead of Friday's commencement of primaries. Disqualified APC candidates storm appeal panels as Anambra chapter expels 30. Aggrieved aspirants pile pressure on APC over screening row. All right, from the top strip of the Punch newspaper, on page 8, NDC pegs presidential form at 60 million. Primaries hold May 29, whooping 60 million naira. Wow. CBN order, that story is on page 19. CBN order, 4 banks release 321,181 dormant accounts. Get that on page 19. Page 9 has this story. Gowon unveils memoir, defends Civil War choices. Well, from the left strip of the Punch, page 19. Nigeria misses OPEC oil production quota again. Page 26 has the story. Dangote exports 1.66 billion naira liters. Let's see. Dangote exports 1.66 billion liters fuel amid US-Iran tensions. Okay. These are the stories we're tracking from the Punch newspaper this morning.
Okay, looking at the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning, it says, Oyo APC leaders endorse Adelabu's. The Nigerian Tribune newspaper is next. The Nigerian Tribune, all right. Oyo APC leaders endorse Adelabu's governorship bid as he officially declares ambition and unveils development blueprint. Now you can find this on page 4. On page 3, it says Mutfwang bans night mining and grazing. Still on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, it says APC primaries, consensus option shaky as 101 aspirants eye 28 Gubar tickets. You can find this on page 3, and the rider to that story says Kwara leads with 16 aspirants, Oyo 11. Yayi Hamzat gets challengers in Ogun and Lagos. Mutfwang Fubara Aliyah face opposition. Borno's consensus successful. Ogun senatorial stakeholders present Abiodun as consensus candidate. On page 11, I will emerge victorious as APC senatorial primary. This is from Daniel. Insecurity, Nigeria under siege. This is coming from Atiku. Ask federal government to treat security collapse as national emergency. Nigeria's petroleum consumption surged to 51.1 million liters per day in April. This is from the NMDPRA. Africa loses $89 billion annually to illicit financial flows. This is coming from tax experts. And from the WHO, it says more hantavirus cases may emerge in coming weeks. That's it from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper.
All right, we'll quickly look at This Day newspaper. This Day newspaper. All right, This Day newspaper is up next for review. This Day newspaper has these headlines. The screaming headline from here says Tinubu seeks global financial reforms to accelerate Africa's growth. Tinubu seeks global financial reforms to accelerate Africa's growth. The riders include holds talks with Madagascar president. Ruto says Africa wants investment, equal partnership, not aid. Macron canvasses strategic autonomy for Africa and Europe. Guterres, absence of Africa on UN Security Council, historic injustice. And Dangote, Abdul Samad Rabiu Elumelu, AIG Imokwede, ministers attend event. That story is on the front page of This Day newspaper and continues on page 8. All right, the photos speak here. Friendly diplomatic exchange. Okay, let's get that. From left to right, British Deputy High Commissioner Mrs. Gil Lever and Kwara State Governor NGF Chairman Abdurrahman Abdurrazak CON during Lever's courtesy visit to the Amadou Bello House in Ilorin on Tuesday. All right, from the top strip of This Day newspaper, let's see Africa Forward Summit in Nairobi. The story is on the front page and continues in the inside page. All right, page 8 has this story that starts from the front page. Federal government IOCs raise crude supply to Dangote refinery, others by 103% in 4 months. Well, these are the stories rocking the front page of This Day newspaper.
All right, the Daily Trust newspaper is next. The Daily Trust newspaper. Yeah, these are the headlines. Hurdles before second-term APC governors. 11-month blackout cripples businesses in FCT communities. Gunmen attack Kano community, kill 5. Over 100 killed in Zamfara market airstrike. And then we see a pictorial representation of the community that was attacked in Zamfara state, talking about Zumi local government area. And you see it, the pictorial representation of on the Nigerian map, and the distance from the capital, that is Gusau. Still on the Daily Trust newspaper, woman sets husband, co-wife, and children ablaze. Shekarau versus Zora, why Kano Central APC Senate ticket has defied consensus. 8 years after, court jails cult leader, and 5 others in Kwara. And lastly, on the Daily Trust newspaper, it says Museveni sworn in as Uganda's president for 7th term.
All right, let's quickly move on to Vanguard newspaper. The Vanguard is fraught with all of these headlines. The major one, APC knockout day, 30 governors, 88 senators, 242 reps, 2,620 others no fate today. APC knockout day, 30 governors, 88 senators, 242 reps, 2,620 others no fate today. The riders include party to release screening reports today. Uwalda reads Riot Act. I am ready to face any aspirant, beat Abiodun in primaries. Okay. Let's see. There's another rider. Ogun East APC endorses Abiodun for Senate. All right, from the top strip of the Vanguard on page 6, Nollywood actor Alex Ekubo dies at 40 after battle with liver cancer. Very sad. On page 10, 2027 polls, Makinde to declare presidential ambition, unveil PDP APM alliance. On page 8, British government has no preferred candidate in Nigeria's election, says envoy. British government has no preferred candidate in Nigeria's elections, says envoy. On page 20, petrol consumption jumps 10.8% to 52.4 million, defiles higher pump price. Okay. Page 8 has NUT rejects federal government's UTME waiver for NCE admission. NUT rejects federal government's UTME waiver for NCE admission. On page 31, why I finally wrote my story after decades, Gowon says. Okay, the bottom strip of the Vanguard has these headlines. Atiku faults Tinubu's security strategy as ex-lawmaker dies in captivity. That story you'll find on page 9. Page 7 has the story, over 72 killed as military bombs Zamfara market. The rider, no civilian casualties, DHQ. Page 9 has xenophobic attacks, Nigerian lives more important than investment, says Oshomole. All right, these are the stories we're tracking this morning from the Vanguard newspaper.
Looking at the New Telegraph newspaper, these are the headlines. Nigerian manufacturers struggle as rising costs and currency woes eat into profit. Bagudu, reforms boosted Nigeria's revenue by 41% to 28 trillion naira in 3 years. NAS reviews Data Protection Act to tackle emergency threats. Work not over, WHO chief says after hantavirus evacuation. US inflation jumps to 3.8% as energy costs surge from Iran war. Amatri, Homeland Security role will create tension within presidency's command, control structure. The rider says, foresees high duplication risk. Tinubu overwhelmed by insecurity. This is coming from Atiku. The term homeland meaningless in Nigerian context. This is coming from ADC. Insecurity. Troops seize over 400 satellite internet devices used by terrorists in Northeast. The rider says Repentant terrorists swear oath with Quran before reintegration. This is coming from Borno government. 6 varsity students abducted in Nasarawa regain freedom. River screening controversy. Wike meets APC national chair, Yowatda, behind closed doors. And lastly, longevity. Researchers discover that sleep outranks diet and exercise.
Okay, the last paper for review this morning, the Daily Sun. The Daily Sun newspaper has this bold headline: military bombs Zamfara market where suspected terrorists trade. The rider, over 72 killed. Amnesty puts figure at over 100. From the top strip on page 28, confusion heightens in Ebonyi Agric College. 3 provosts appointed, removed in 1 week. NUT expresses concerns over federal government's UTME waiver for NCE candidates. That story is on the front page and continues on page 6. All right, from the bottom strip, NAS moves to strengthen Data Protection Act against emerging cyber threats. Page 8 has the story. Page 6, rather. Page 26 also has Nigeria's tax reforms key to economic growth, says minister. On page 4, 2 family members killed in fresh attack in Plateau. Survivors recount experiences, displacement as violence persists. On page 8, Edo will become modern state before end of my first term, says Governor Okpewolo. Well, these are the stories from our national dailies this morning. Pepe, that's all right?
Yeah, that's
okay.
all.
There is this story that is almost in all of the dailies this morning. NUT expresses concern over federal government's UTME waiver for NCE candidates. Pepe, you can actually read it from the Daily Sun.
Okay.
It's there, yes.
Yes. I've seen
Yeah.
the story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's saying that the Nigerian Union of Teachers are expressing concern over the federal government's waiver of the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination requirement for admission into colleges of education. And its president, who spoke at the 21st Century Teachers Workshop in collaboration with Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria at Abuja yesterday, kicked against that policy, and he was saying that if not properly implemented, it could weaken the quality of teachers' training and undermine professionalism in the teaching profession. And the federal government had on Monday, during the JAM meeting, granted admission waiver to candidates seeking the Nigerian Certificate in Education. Amber said the union was not adequately consulted before the announcement of the policy, and he advised that critical stakeholders should be carried along in reforms affecting teachers' education. Basically, that's what he's saying. But I think my own concern was the reduction in the cutoff mark for JAM. Yes, it's now 150 as opposed to before, when we used to see 200,
230, yes.
230. And many people are saying that there's a decline in the performance of students.
Yes.
Like before now, students don't have that reading culture, and a lot of people are blaming parents, some people are blaming the students, some people are blaming technology, some people have even taken it a notch higher to start blaming AI. And personally, I don't know what the problem is, honestly, because the reading culture is deteriorating, is declining, and someone even made a statement that if you want to hide something from Nigerians, put it in a book. Put it in a book.
But Pepper, do you know students actually read? Children read, students read. You know, in the past, it used to be reduction of cutoff marks for students wanting to gain admission in northern states, in the north.
Yes.
But having it now in this policy that it has to be 150 across board in all of the states, it's something to worry about, really, because that as at the time some of our children were putting in for JAMB, were writing JAMB and all of that, securing admission into universities, cut-off marks, especially for medicine students and for lawyers, was as high as 250, 240, 260, 230. And if children have actually read and have been succeeding in scoring as high as above 200, how come at this stage in 2026, not 2000, not 2001, not in 1998 or 1985, it's now been reduced to as low as 150.
150.
Pepeshwa, I will tell you, anybody intelligent, unintelligent, just average student can shut his or her eyes and sit for JAMB and score even above 150. So there is a decline in education, if that is what the government is telling us. Beyond that, what NUT National is actually saying is they don't welcome this idea of exonerating candidates into NCE programs from writing UTME, from writing JAMB, or for sitting for JAMB. Same applies for students who are going for agric-related courses. What is now going to be the criteria for judging such candidates to gain admission into either colleges of education or to the universities who are applying to study agric-related courses? These are the things we're talking about. Now, NUT National Chair in this report has actually said they were not consulted
about the reform.
Yes, the federal government and its agencies did not contact or carry them along in taking such a decision. And such decisions, we don't know how far they will go. Look at his statement here, that such waiver will make NCE education in Nigeria look very, there's a word he used here, that decision to exempt candidates applying for Nigeria NCE certificate will make NCE education seem too easy for Nigerians. And like he actually said, these are students, candidates who are going to train to become teachers. If you exempt them from taking JAMB, where is their foundation really?
How are you going to impart knowledge
on students after their education? So these are certain policies that we think at this point in our lives as a nation, we need to actually get stakeholders in the education sector to handle, to deal with, and then come up with better policies. All right, Pepe, there's another story that appears in almost all of the papers this morning, the APC story. Let me see. Okay, the Punch newspaper has it this way: pre-primary screening, tension mounts as APC panels disqualify over 150 aspirants. I know it's in other papers. Pepe, if you can get that story, let's see. Okay, the Vanguard has it this way: APC knockout J, 30 governors, 88 senators, 242 reps, 2,620 others, no fate today. Yeah, Pepe, a lot is happening in the political space.
A whole lot.
Yes, then in one of the papers we saw nomination form for presidential aspirants pegged at 60 million. Okay, that's it here. NDC pegs presidential form at 60 million naira. Primaries hold May 29. A lot is happening in the political space. Let's see what turns out after all.
Honestly, I just feel it's right. It's high time now. Everybody go get your PVCs and just get ready to vote come next year.
Before it gets to even all of us getting our PVCs, there's so much happening within the political parties.
I just feel let the politicians sort themselves, put their house in order while they are preparing themselves. The citizens also get to prepare themselves so that next year they go out there and cast their votes and exercise their franchise. Honestly speaking,
imagine over 150 aspirants being disqualified by APC, and even before then there have been stories of resignations by by aggrieved members of the APC, whether you like it or not. The old and the new APC, there have been a lot of resignations as it concerns purchase and submission of nomination forms. Like you said, we live political stories,
For
political
them.
dramas for the politicians.
They'll be fine.
But they will be fine, right?
Yes,
We
they'll be
hope so.
fine.
We pray for them because they are our leaders.
They are actually.
Yes, so we pray for them. Let's see how all of this tension about APC and the disqualification of aspirants plays out. Well, like the Vanguard says, they will know their fate today. All aspirants will know their fate today. If as many as 30 governors, 88 senators, 242 reps, 2,620 others are part of this, indeed, it's a story and development to watch out for today.
Right.
All right, another story here from the Vanguard. 2027 polls, marking day to declare presidential ambition, unveils PDP APM alliance. Pepe, there is so much alliances going on, from a Labour Party alliance,
NDC.
ADC, NDC now alliance, but we've not heard so much about alliance NDC, the
No,
new
we've
party,
not-
right?
we've not heard
But
so
right now
much
we're
about
hearing, I'm hearing this for the first time, PDP APM alliance.
I think
Okay.
there's going to be more alliances. There are going to be
Sure.
lots and lots
Yeah, sure.
more of alliances
Before the
election. But however it is, I just pray they put their house in order, because one thing with political parties is if you don't put your house in order, it's going to definitely show. It's going to show that you guys are divided. It's even going to make people that are interested in your party to lose interest, and they'll be asking questions like, if I end up voting for you guys now, will you bring your division into leadership? How well are you going to lead us if you've not put your house in order? So any alliances that want to be formed, they can go ahead as long as their houses are in order. Come 2027, we go cast our votes.
Yeah, indeed, in 2027, we shall go cast our votes. But the message to the political parties, put your house, put your parties in order. All right, there's this story also from the Vanguard newspaper on page 8. British government has no preferred candidate in Nigeria's elections, says envoy. Yes, indeed, it should be so. And they should actually say this loud and clear.
Yes.
Yeah, just in case there are some aspirants that are already saying, oh, I'm getting the backing of the British government. They have come out to tell you,
No
we
preferred
don't have a
candidates.
preferred candidate. And that's how it should be, really. So for those who go around saying, oh, I'm a preferred candidate by the British government, or I've been certified okay by the British government, they are saying, no, we don't have a preferred candidate.
At all.
Go out there and be voted for.
Yes.
Yeah. It's okay, we move on. Other stories that actually rock almost all the papers. Naira appreciates amid 30% FX inflow drop, beats supply shock. Pepe, you can actually read that story from the Daily Independent. It's right there in the front page. Naira appreciates, yes.
So Naira appreciates amid 30% FX inflow drop, beats supply shock. So it's saying that Naira, Nigeria's currency, demonstrated surprising resilience last month as it strengthened slightly despite a sharp decline in foreign exchange inflows into the market, reflecting easing demand pressures and reduced speculative activity. Now, latest data from the FMDQ exchange showed that foreign exchange inflows into Naira's foreign exchange market fell significantly by about 30% month on month to $29 billion in April, and the decline was largely attributed to weaker participation from foreign investors amid rising geopolitical tensions in the Middle East, particularly the escalating standoff between the United States and Iran. Now, despite this notable drop in FX supply, the Naira remained relatively stable throughout the month, appreciating roughly 1% to close April. So that's the story. But I keep wondering, like, if the Naira is stable, then how is it that in last month, there was still a surge in the prices of goods and services, most especially transportation? I feel like if there is a, let's say, normalcy in Naira, it should also reflect in the in the quality and prices of goods and services. Example, transportation, fuel, and the rest of them. But it's not really reflecting as in practically the way we are supposed to
So
feel it
Nigerians
at
are
this
looking
point.
forward to the impact or its effect
Yes.
on the prices of goods
Positively.
and services. Yes, indeed. Nigerians hope for better deals. So, as much as we're getting these figures of increments of better deal, the appreciation of the naira, you should actually Nigerians should see the difference in the prices of goods and services when we go shopping, even in prices of transportation.
Yes,
This
fuel.
should be felt really. Okay, I think these are the much papers we will look at this morning. All we'll advise you to do is go out there, get copies of the papers you want to read, and better still, get papers online, get details of the stories we read out to you this morning right here. And we hope that all of these will help inform our decisions in life, especially as it affects the economy. The more information you get, political stories on the economy will help you. Pepe, there is one particular story about the Zamfara market killing.
Yes.
Really, that is
It's on the
that's
Daily
another
Trust.
that's another trending headline we didn't talk about.
Yes.
The details is even there.
Yeah.
Even the Daily Sun. Okay, we can actually look at it from the Daily Trust. Pepe, you can
Yes.
read that.
It
Over
says-
100 killed in Zamfara market airstrike.
Yes, it says a military airstrike in Tumfa Market in Zurmi local government area of Zamfara state has reportedly killed at least 117 people and injured several others. Residents said the casualties included both bandits and civilians. Now, the aerial bombardment occurred on Sunday. The same day, another Nigerian Air Force operation targeting bandits struck Garandinai, a settlement near Kuso in Shiroro local government area of Niger State, where 13 civilians were reportedly killed. Now, reports of the Tumfa incident emerged late on Monday due to poor communication networks in the area. Tumfa and several neighboring communities in Zurmi local government area are said to be under the control of armed groups with local forces to coexist with the locals who often act as de facto authorities. Well, I think that's the much my eyes can capture at this point. But it's very,
So a
very
lot
sad.
is happening.
It's very sad.
Okay, from the Daily Sun, it actually has it. Military bombs Zamfara market where suspected terrorists trade. And the writer says over 72 killed. Amnesty puts figure at over 100. In one of these papers, it said no civilian was killed. Oh, security issues in Nigeria. Well, like we said, get copies of our national dailies online or the hard copies and get details. And please remember to stay safe. Pepe?
Very, very important.
Yes.
Your safety matters. I
Yeah,
always
sure.
say it that we've gone past the era of you saying, I'm an adult and you know what, I'm going out. At least tell someone. If you're traveling out of the States, please do well to send your location to someone that you trust, someone very, very close to you. It is important.
Within your city of residence,
Yes.
if you must go out, you must let somebody know. It has gotten to that point, okay?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Morning Ride, Wednesday's edition. A lot is happening. Today in Delta State, Nigeria, the governor of the state, the Right Honorable Sheriff Francis Oruwejo Boriwori, will be swearing in newly appointed permanent secretaries. Pepe,
Yes.
all is set for the swearing in of permanent secretaries.
I'm sure they're getting prepared.
Yes. Guests have been asked to be seated by 9:30 a.m. The event is slated for 10 o'clock this morning, and so guests have been asked to be seated before the arrival of His Excellency.
Right.
Yeah, let's see that very quickly. Let's see the names of the permanent secretaries to be sworn in.
Yes.
The
Here.
government statement, that statement was on Monday announcing the appointment of these permanent secretaries
About
to be
11 of
sworn
them.
in. Yes, to be sworn in today. Okay, so that's the story this morning. Yes, His Excellency Governor Sheriff Oboriwori, Governor of Delta State, has approved the appointment of the following as permanent secretaries in the Delta State Public Service. 1. Dr. Yinkore A. Paul. 2. Dr. Okonze A.C. 3. Amabodoa Peters. 4. Nkencho O.O. 5. Akambe O.H. 6. Engineer Agagba Solomon. 7. Ebugo Victor Chike. 8. Igoyota M. Rocky. 9. Itawasa Augustine A. 10. Onobrakbenya O. Edwin. And 11. Nkemacho Lucky. The newly appointed permanent secretaries will be sworn in today, Wednesday, 13th May 2026, at Unity Hall, Government House, Asaba, at 10 a.m. Guests are expected to be seated by 9:30 a.m. All right, Pepe, this is it. And the receptions for the different persons to be sworn in this morning, 11 of them. Wow. So Asaba is going to be a busy city, a busy town today. Lots going to be happening after the swearing in
activities,
yes,
and celebrations.
Exactly. So after the swearing in ceremony at 10, we expect parties to be held in different places. We're not going to mention to you where we're going to be to celebrate with these newly appointed permanent secretaries. And so on Morning Ride, Wednesday's edition, we say congratulations to the 11 of them.
Yes.
Congratulations indeed.
All right. Above the congratulations,
yes,
we want to see the dividends when you resume office, you know, and start
exactly
working. Yeah.
All right. Morning Ride continues in a moment. Please stay tuned.
Hello, my name is Blessing Ofomio. Join me every Tuesday, 11 a.m. on Delta Television, Asaba, on the program HBS Show with Blessing, History Behind Success. It is a program that talks about how one started from the humble beginning. Don't forget to also subscribe to our YouTube channel, HBS Show with Blessing, like and share to your loved ones. Don't miss this program for any reason.
Every morning brings a new conversation.
From breaking stories to burning issues.
From 7:30 to 9:30 a.m.
Mondays to Fridays.
Join us on Morning Ride, where news meets insight and every voice matters.
Morning Ride is your daily dose of facts, truth, and perspective.
Bonjour, bonjour, comment ça va? Bonjour, bonjour, très bien, merci.
Hello there. Watch French for Beginners on Delta Television on Channel 25 UHF band and online at Delta TV for the best French education. Regardez, salut à tous. Regardez le français pour le débutant sur Delta Television, sur le canal 25 UHF band et en ligne sur Delta TV. Rejoignez-nous pour le cours le meilleur de français débutant éducatif. Merci et vous serez contente de l'avoir fait.
Bonjour, bonjour, comment ça va?
My name is Peter Igo. I was born in Jos. I mentioned Jos because it had a significant role to play in what I now became in terms of broadcasting. I practically grew up in the cinema in Jos. In those days, There were movies in the morning, afternoon, and evening. And invariably, when we come back from school and we help our mother hawk, we ended up in the cinema. So that background of the moving picture affected me a lot. And years later, when I graduated from the university, after a 3-year stint as a teacher, I was a pioneer member of NTV Sokoto when they started over 50 years ago. And that was my formal introduction into broadcasting. And while I was there in NTV Sokoto, I was head of drama. I wrote, produced, and directed plays in Hausa and in English. And in those days, we were transmitting live. Because there were no recording facilities. You prepared in the studio, and once it is just like you take your news now live, at the start we took our dramas live, 1 hour. They come straight to you, and you have to be very prepared because you run through without any space for error for the whole 1 hour you through. And that's how we're working until in 1977, NTA was born. All the various state stations became one body under NTA. And when that happened, I think it was 1978, a year after, that the NTA, to showcase its oneness, organized a drama competition among the then 12 NTA stations. I wrote, produced, and directed the entry from Sokoto called Moment of Truth. We came first. And when that happened, I think by next year, the president of the country, Obasanjo, had come up with an agricultural program. So the NTA, to support government endeavors, decided to produce a drama series to help promote that agricultural endeavor. And because I had produced the winning entry when we had that drama competition, I was now taken to Lagos to put together that series, which became Cockcrow at Dawn. Now, Cockcrow at Dawn, of course, is significant, not just for its name, but because it was first in many ways. It was the first ever drama series shot outside the studio. Before then, every program was shot in the studio because we had no cameras for shooting the exterior, except the movie camera. So everything was shot in the studio. So Cockcrow at Dawn was the first drama series to be shot outside any studio. So we're shooting entirely on location. It was the first to have a specially dedicated music. If you remember Bongo Sikwe's "Will He Ever Get There? Will He Ever Make It? Will he ever hear the sound of the cockcrow at dawn?" That was specifically designed, written for, and composed for Cockcrow at Dawn. Of course, many other songs came. And of course, after that, I produced about 75 episodes of the series before I was promoted to manager and later put in charge of all network programs. And being in charge of network programs, that was when we started putting the previously produced studio program, Village Headmaster, Samanja, Masquerade. We now put them on the network because I was now in charge of network programs. And so we took Village Headmaster to the network and it became New Village Headmaster. We took Masquerade to the network, it became New Masquerade. Same with Samanja, New Samanja. But of course, after that, in Jos, where I had the camp for Cockcrow, we left the camp open and produced series like Behind the Clouds and many telemovies we shot from that camp. And of course, when I now was in charge of network programs, that's when you saw Mirror and the Sun, Adio Family, Giant in the Sun, Balamila Show. So we produced the entire range of programming, documentaries, entertainment programs, and of course drama series and all that. And years later, I was transferred to Enugu. For a while, when I came back, I became a deputy director and later executive director of programs. And but I retired from the NTA as executive director of marketing 2008 when I was 60. I suppose we've gone far enough. Well, my career quite was almost like the growth, followed the growth of the NTA in terms of not just content, but also technology. Like I said, in the early days, they were only studio-based programs because you have those big cameras that were for studio recording. Even the news was recorded on small cine cameras, the Bolex 8mm cameras, and they shot little bits, 2 minutes, 3 minutes for the news. It was years after I started Cock Crow at Dawn, and I was shooting on film. It was very expensive because when I shoot with film, there are no laboratories here in Nigeria to process them. So I send my materials to London to process. Then when they process them, they send me a report to say, quality good. Then I travel to London and sit with the editor to do the picture editing. You shoot separate, picture separate, sound separate. These days that you have cameras that you combine video, they don't know how we started. We started that difficult. When you finish with the picture editor, you now sit with the audio to lay all your audio and all your effects, soundtracks, and the rest of them before they print, before you come back to transmit. So it was very expensive. So after a while, the DG of the NTA called Engineer Maduka, said, look, Peter, we cannot continue. It's so expensive. And luckily, the technology has come up now with a camera called video camera, EFP camera, that you can record with sound on picture. And so I was sent to London with my cameraman to see them use that camera. So we're the first to come back to shoot on video camera outside the studio. And NTA, of course, pioneered all that. These days, we see everybody carrying a camera with a phone and all that. We take that for granted, but this journey came from that, and the NTA pioneered that. I happen to be part of that history, of that pioneering effort of the NTA. But of course, years later, everybody now, Behind the Clouds and the rest of them, Mirror in the Sun, they had their own ENG cameras. But even then, the ENG started as electronic news gathering equipment before we started using it on a broad sense to record drama and musicals and all that. Yes, I mean, you cannot write the history of broadcasting or television without talking about NTA as a juggernaut who pioneered, who really opened the way for many others to follow. And over the years, NTA had come up with so many iconic programs over various decades. And whether in news, current affairs, we had so many great current affairs programs, Newsline and all that came up. We had many musical programs, Balamila Show, Digital Sister Show, and all those programs. We had major documentaries, Giant in the Sun, the documentary that I produced on the Nigerian Civil War, and major drama series like Things Fall Apart. And only a body like NTA could have handled that, because these are very major projects that, and over the years, when private television came, and a lot of the staff were drawn from the NTA. Even till today, until maybe the recent now, most of the practitioners in most of the independent stations were all from the NTA, whether it was channels, whether it's Arise and many of them came from that background of the NTA. And so NTA played a major role in the development of the broadcast industry, especially television. And so we must give kudos to NTA. And in terms of coverage, no one has the reach of the NTA, even now. And I mean down to the grassroots, because NTA has over 30 stations across the country. Most of the other organizations are a one-station kind of a broadcast organization. So even now, the NTA can still hold its head high and say, yes, they've done a lot for the industry. Well, incidentally, I am the national coordinator of a group we call Broadcast Veterans. And we are all above 60, we've all retired, but there's still fire in the furnace. We still believe that retirement at 60 is not a death sentence. There's a lot we can still offer. And so one of the principles that we're talking there is that I made people realize that the broadcast industry as a whole, whether television or radio, has not received commensurate, if you like, support or praise or compensation, if you like, for what it has done for this country in terms of preserving its security, unity, entertainment, and enlightenment. Because, especially the NTA, many times that some organizations would have carelessly carried some news items that would have borne to this country, NTA has used its maturity to present it in a proper way that protected security and didn't lead to disharmony or killings of each other. You understand? And many times people have said, oh, NTA is too laid back. Yes, but that's because it knows the responsibility it carries. NTA is all over the country. And most times when they say, I saw it on NTA, so it must be true. And so the broadcasting as a whole has contributed a lot to the enlightenment, education, and preserving the unity of this country over the years. And it still does. And that's why whoever ignores the broadcast industry does so at his own peril. Because one wrong picture, one wrong word on television or radio can burn this country. But luckily, we've had responsible broadcasting. We've had responsible practice from among the practitioners. And aberrations here and there once in a while. But in the main, broadcasting has contributed a lot to even government endeavors. At the end of the day, it says, no matter how worthy your program is, if you do not use the broadcast industry to promote what you've done, people don't appreciate what you've done. See, a lot of the achievements, even of administrations, have been promoted and showcased through the lenses of broadcasters or the microphones of radio broadcasters. AI takes the level higher. And of course, the responsibility element even stronger. Because with AI now, as you can see, the whole world is looking at AI, but there are already fears as to what it can do, the negative things it can do. People are meeting, international bodies just met in India a few days ago to look at the variety of the ambit of the total possibilities of AI. And already they are looking at the positive element, but also the possible negative elements, where you can sit in your room and push forward the picture of somebody, exact replica in voice and picture, and send doing negative things. So you see, responsibility is even very stronger, and that's why everyone now, all the major bodies developing their own aspects of AI, are also conscious of the dangers that can come with AI. So we must take it and handle it with responsibility. The potential is humongous. You can do so much with it. Recently, somebody in a Hollywood film designed a whole fighting sequence. You didn't have to go on set. You didn't have to carry the actors there. You didn't have to mobilize, and designed this fighting sequence and did that, and saved a lot of money. But the industry protested because you are now removing people from their jobs. The actors don't have a job anymore. If you can sit in the studio and create the actors and you don't employ anybody else, the designer, the cameraman, the soundman, they have no more job because somebody can sit down in his own room and create the entire world. So again, it has its pros and it has its cons. They have, yes, I mean, like I said about AI, we must approach the new decade and the new generation with responsibility and awareness that we have a powerful, the media is a powerful organ. It's a very powerful tool that we have in our hands, and we must use it responsibly. Whereas I've praised what we've done in the past and the present, we must rise up again with responsibility to be able to utilize the development in technology, development in ideas, and development in experiences responsibly, so that at the end of the day, we not only bring entertainment to the viewer, but also be aware that we need to be in peace, live in peace, and in harmony and with unity.
Welcome back to Morning Ride, Wednesday's edition. Well, talking with a veteran as Peter Igo is so much pride for us in Delta Broadcasting Service.
It is. It's a veteran.
It talked about so many things, but for us this morning, we want to pay more attention to the role of mainstream media in elections.
Right.
Yeah, ahead of the 2027 general elections, even as the media has always done, mainstream media has always done, we have a lot of role, a very vital role to play. Yeah, Pepe, we're just having that conversation while we're watching that interview.
Yes.
You know, he shared with us a lot of things, our role as mainstream media, from the cinematographer, the cameraman, to the editor, to the film editors, to the producers, to the newscasters, to the journalists. There is a lot that is desired of us, especially in this year preceding the general elections in Nigeria.
Well, some of the roles that the mainstream media play in Nigeria is being the watchdog of the society and, of course, accountability. Now, as the fourth estate of the realm, the media scrutinizes government activities, promoting transparency and combating corruption. Now, another role that we play is democratic sustenance. The media is essential for managing Nigeria's multi-party, multi-ethnic structure, adding in free and fair discourse, especially during elections. And of course, we give information and we educate, by providing citizens with accurate, timely news on security, economic and social issues to empower and inform them. Also, agenda setting is one of them, determining the priority of national issues and shaping public debates around issues such as development, health, and national unity. We also have bridging the gap, acting as a bridge between leaders and citizens by communicating government policies and in turn expressing public grievances. And lastly, promoting national security, documenting attacks, reporting on insecurity, and providing as well as amplifying public input on national security challenges.
Yes, Pepe, I like that part. There is one other area we'll just read from here. Voter education is our role to actually carry out voter education. Okay, so mainstream media break down complex electoral processes into simple language, explain how PVCs work, voting procedures, dates, and polling units. Yes, mainstream media educate on candidates' manifestos, not just rallies. So true. Mainstream media run jingles and programs in English, pidgin, and in different languages. All right, and of course, without the mainstream media, no verified information shared out there. This is where our vital role is actually needed, where we need to actually bring in all we can, our best, to ensure voter education is carried out. And then for journalists, there's a lot that is upon them to do as it concerns general elections, the build up to the elections, giving out the right news stories, going out to get the exact news that people want to hear about, especially sensitization, especially in this era of candidates, different aspirants from different political parties jockeying to get their nomination forms, get screened and all of that. Just from the mainstream media, through the journalists, you can get the verified information. Pepe, most times before something happens, before even the immediate families get to know, it's already out there in the social media. But the mainstream media is not always in a hurry to put out information there without verifying. That's the truth. So an action is taking place here. You find the journalists doing their job to bring such information to public domain. So whereas in the social media you can just get it in flash,
second.
just in few seconds, you already know that, oh, something like this is happening. But the mainstream media will come with the exact story, the way it is.
And sometimes I even wish that when it comes to probably negative stories, that people are quick to share information about without allowing the family the honor to come out to tell the public. I wish that these individuals have some kind of sanctions so that next time they get to respect people's privacy. Most of these people that share this information are not sharing it from a place of empathy. They are sharing it from a place of, I want to be the first person
to break the
news.
That's it.
And when people do this, sometimes they leave their emotions, and you begin to wonder, are we really dealing with humans in the society or animals? These are the questions we begin to ask. So I feel like if everybody has that patience to verify information, like the mainstream media, we have lots of, coordination in how information is spread and why we spread them, and at the same time giving honor to whom honor is due, most especially when it comes to negative stories.
All right, so we do our best, especially as we approach the 2027 general elections, to give out the right information as and when due, and then of course we monitor, educate the public, the populace on voter education. All they need to know about education or getting information on elections. Well, we'll keep doing our part, we'll play our part as it is, and give our best to keep you informed, educated, and entertained. All right, we'll move on now to our interview segment. Please watch out, Pepe. There's something cooking, and we need to let our viewers see this interview. Please stay with us.
sing of the goodness of God. Shine, Jesus, shine, fill this land with the Father's glory. It's the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad indeed.
Choristers Beats, lifting God's name higher through songs. Don't miss it.
Rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it.
Bonjour, bonjour, comment ça va? Bonjour, bonjour, très bien, merci.
Hello there. Watch French for Beginners on Delta Television on Channel 25 UHF band and online at Delta TV for the best French education. Regardez, salut à tous. Regardez le français pour le débutant sur Delta Télévision, sur le canal 25 UHF Band et en ligne sur Delta TV. Rejoignez-nous pour le cours le meilleur de français débutant éducatif. Merci et vous serez contente de l'avoir fait.
Bonjour, bonjour, comment ça va?
Every morning brings a new conversation.
From breaking stories to burning issues.
From 7:30 to 9:30 a.m.
Mondays to Fridays.
Join us on Morning Ride, where news meets insight and every voice matters.
Morning Ride is your daily dose of facts, truth, and perspective.
Hello, my name is Blessing Ofomio. Join me every Tuesday, 11 a.m. on Delta Television, Asaba, on the program HBS Show with Blessing, History Behind Success. It is a program that talks about how one started from the humble beginning. Don't forget to also subscribe to our YouTube channel, HBS Show with Blessing, like and share to your loved ones. Don't miss this program for any reason.
Today so, excitement dey everywhere for Bomadi as Governor Sheriff commissioned the 31 kilometers road wey connect 5 different local government areas for Delta State.
Delta government don approve 400 billion for the construction, rehabilitation and upgrading of roads.
Governor Sheriff dey try you.
Yes, and other critical infrastructures across the state.
Governor Sheriff dey work well. Why they call it personally roads and bridges they do?
You know dey inside the state. Now only roads and bridges Governor Sheriff they do. You know they are aware of the schools when Governor Sheriff don't upgrade. I've been at the healthcare centers when he be say Governor Sheriff they upgrade across the 25 local governments.
Yes,
you know say not the only roads and bridges Governor Sheriff they do. Oppositions go always talk. Governor Sheriff don't approve the construction of male and female hostels across 9 state-owned tertiary institutions.
And even the roads one at the top say Governor Sheriff they do. Hope you know say we can't have a working economy without good roads. How can businesses thrive without good roads? How can people locate healthcare centers without good roads? How can students go to their schools?
Governor Sheriff still do flood control measures because he won't create an enabling environment for Deltans.
Don't forget say Governor Sheriff does still do empowerment programs where empower both youths and women. What about graduating students with first class? 1 million naira each, 5 million best graduating students.
You be sports person. You know they when Governor Sheriff reward Team Delta with cash prizes. Also donate buses to aid logistics.
Talking about sports, Idea West say the renovation of Warri Township Stadium is 75% complete.
Governor Sheriff they touch all areas.
Brought to you by Delta State Ministry of Information.
Delta State I so. With waiting I see so. Very soon Delta State go be like Canada, America.
Now Delta State today, for front, now one of the bridges where Governor Sheriff already commissioned.
In fact, I dey abroad.
About to go wake up. Gary don't finish for house.
I dey abroad.
Okay, you dey Obuko Ogeneke Street. I beg I won't go buy Gary.
Collect money for that trouser. Okpako, you never hear what they happen.
Seren start early this year.
Governor Sheriff, you don't approve 200,000 naira special allowance. Now welfare package for doctors why they for Delta State. Yes, so.
You know say I study medicine small.
They study medicine small.
I be here for even you know.
You know say Governor Sheriff, you know they do all those things so. Now strictly merit based, free of any form of payment or mago.
The more agenda, they turn Delta State to a hub for agro-industrial growth where investment dey thrive. Na as a result of a peaceful and business-friendly environment when Governor Sheriff dey create for Delta State. Governor Sheriff focus on practical solutions wey dey make life easy for Deltans. Abi you no hear of the new CNG station for Asaba? When they deliver in partnership with Nipco Gas, e go also ease the pressure of rising fuel costs. I go patronize them. You say? I say I go patronize them. With your wheelbarrow.
From roads to drainage systems cutting across multiple communities for Delta State, Governor Sheriff came prepared. More than the way I say prepared. More agenda.
Brought to you by Delta State Ministry of Information.
Alright, welcome to this interview segment on Morning Ride Wednesday's edition. We're paying attention to the Delta State environment, and to do this is no other than the Honorable Commissioner for Environment, Delta State, Mr. Jamani Eju Tommy. So good to have you in the studio this morning.
Thank you. Good to have you. Good morning and welcome to Morning Ride. Yes.
You're here as the Environment Commissioner, Delta State. Talk to us on recent activities with the Ministry of Environment.
Okay. The Ministry of Environment is saddled with lots of responsibility, and the governor we have is so intentional when it comes to the environment. That's why during his electionary campaign period, his manifesto is more agenda. And the more agenda, the first child of the more is meaningful development. And under the meaningful development, you see environmental sustainability. So the governor has promised Deltas that he will sustain the environment, and he's walking his talk through the Ministry of Environment. You see, Delta is blessed with so many potentials. And as a state, we are also a coastal state. Some of our area are floodplain. So we're doing everything humanly possible to salvage that situation. Let me start from the coastal angle. Some of our community are very close at the bank of the River Niger, and they are lowlands. So when the river is overwhelmed, it ravish some of the community. We have two types of flood. We have the normal flood when you open dam, and you have the flash flood that is caused by storm, which is rain flood. And recently we embarked on clearing of all our clogged water channels, the situations of drains, and all that. We worked in Asabaye. We cleared the drains and also opened the water channels from the Camp 74, where you have these cluster fish farmers. Because once you don't open that place, once the flood comes, it sacks those farmers and they count their losses. So we opened that place because it's seriously silted. So
yes, can you mention this area you're talking about?
It's Anwine River.
The Anwine River.
Yes, okay. We have the upstream and the downstream.
Okay.
We clear the downstream, we clear the upstream to Amili Mosha, then so that we can get a free flow of water to the River Niger.
Beautiful.
You understand? So we deploy Swam Boogie to open that channels, and we clear drains, because if the drains are not cleared, we experience serious flood. So we clear the drains so that when there is flash, when there is storm, when there is rain, the water can easily move straight to the Siwa, the shore right, and connect to the Awan River. So we'll get to the Awan River, we depress one boogie again to open it to Amili Mocha, from there to the River Niger. Then not only that, there is a place called Akabu behind the airport. We also cleared that Akabu area. And those water find their ways to also the River Niger. That's what we've done in Asaba here. And talking about other places, we also worked in Sapele. I don't know if you saw a trendy video, very disturbing video, when you see a normal community looks like a river. You understand? We know those are that is being caused by developers and community people who sold waterways to developers. So the water cannot find its way to its natural course.
Therefore, so it's blocked from flowing.
So what we did, because I am from Sapele local government, so I understand that area. When we are growing up, we find that place is where we go for fishing. But they've turned the place to a community. So what we did, we tried all our best to see how we can carry this water. Because it's so disturbing. That thing has been happening for years. But we reached out to His Excellency. His Excellency saw the video, very disturbing. And he sent for us there. We need to find a solution to this. So the only solution we got was to do artificial canalization to a tune of about 10 kilometers. We dug artificial canal and with excavator.
Yes, I think we have that video somewhere.
Yes, with excavator.
We would like to see that.
With excavator. And we traveled, we took the water from that area to a canal. We got to that canal. We saw an impediment. We saw somebody who has built on the waterway.
Again.
So, and that canal is the road that will take this water to its natural course. So we have no option than to bring down the fence and we put away the place Boogie to open it seamlessly. So we open that place and carry the water to a place called Walmart Village. We opened it from Walmart Village to a place called Ojulu. We opened it from there to Urakba. Also opened from there to Oton community is the boundary between Sapele local government and Warriors. If you are familiar with Sapele, you see, we took this water from Amokwe. Amokwe is the entrance of Sapele town. We took it to the boundary between Sapele local government and Warri North. And it discharged into the river Ethiopia. So that's what we did. And the people were so happy because they've been suffering for this for long. And they rained lots of prayers on His Excellency the Governor. You understand? We also worked at a place called Eko in Amukwe, the roundabout area. There is a canal that has never been touched before. We opened it. And the governor also...
So just be as loud as possible, sir. Viewers can hear you clearly.
The governor also reached out to the board of the SUPADEC to intervene in the mandate area. They also worked to clear drains, to clear water channels across the 3 senatorial districts. That's to tell you how intentional the governor is when it comes to flood control management. And you know, when we came in 2023, when this 9 months brought their focus, we immediately, the governor set up a committee named as Flood Disaster Management Committee, headed by Dr. Kingsley Ezemu, the Secretary to State Government. Myself, I'm a member of that committee. The Commissioner for Health, Commissioner for Education, and all that. We are all members of that committee. That's to solve when it comes to flooding in Delta. You know, flooding is a global phenomenon. But you see people, any small thing, they blame government. But do you know most of this flooding we're experiencing is man-made? It's caused by developers, it's caused by residents, it's caused by community leaders. They will, during the dry season, they will come and sell waterways to developers. During the rain, water will sack them from their community. So we are begging the community. In my last interview, I begged the communities to please extricate themselves completely from selling waterways. When you sell the waterways, where do you want the water to go? You have invited flooding. You understand? And also, those town planners, they will sit in the comfort of their office and issue permits to developers. You're supposed to do holistic approach. Go to the site, look where you are giving permits. Not just you sit at the comfort of your office, they've paid their fee, you just issue. People should go to sites and this, you know, waterways. When I say waterways, I know.
Honorable Commissioner,
yes.
You know, you said you appeal to communities. This is where Mr. Mafuwe comes into the picture, the man in charge, the task force on environment. Yeah. How has he been fighting? You know, I know your ministry supervises that. Has been fighting the journey of taking all this house out of waterways and the rest of them, because I know there's a campaign on that right now. Yes.
Mafuwe Asugu, Chief, Lost Power Mafuwe Asugu, was the former Commissioner for Environment. So you understand all this before the governor saddled him with this responsibility.
Yes.
We have been working together. Once I got a notification that somebody is building on waterways, I do all within my power to nip it in the bud. But there's also a committee set up by His Excellency the Governor for illegal structures. You understand?
Yes.
Once we get notification that you are building illegally, Omafuwe Asugu and his team
comes for you.
We go there and bring whatever structure you are building down. You understand? So there's a big win for us also. If you're familiar with the Amasha, you know, Uparamie, Ubozoma and the Vanguard area, you know there's a catastrophic gully in that place. The gully that has divided the community. The Nigeria Erosion Watershed Management Project, assisted by the European Investment Bank, NewMap EIB. When we came in, we have the state NewMap and myself and the project coordinator. We went to the place. When I got there, I was amazed with the catastrophic gully. So we went to see His Excellency, our dear governor, and narrate the ordeal of those people. Immediately, His Excellency requested for the file, and he approved the counterpart funding of 1.3 billion, so that Delta can be enlisted in the NewMap project. As I'm talking to you now, we've done everything to secure the cash that we use for that project. That project consists of stormwater drain, gully remediation, and construction of roads in Amacha and the Vanguard area. If you go to that place, I don't know if you've been there, you will cry for the people. The gully is growing every day. So when we came in, the governor saw, the governor is a promise keeper. During electoral campaign, some of our party members went there to tell them, vote for us, vote for Right Honorable Sheriff Oborure. This gully will be a thing of the past. So as I'm talking to you, We've done the engineering design.
Okay.
We've presented it to NUMAP EIB. They've accepted it. We've done community entry. We've done grant trotting. We've done everything. And the federal management, the federal project management unit, they came to see for themselves. Because before you can be enlisted, you must have all necessary requirements. When I came in, I saw that that place needed to be prioritized. Because we're not supposed to walk there, we're supposed to walk elsewhere. But there is no gully that is more severe than this gully. So I traveled to Abuja to meet with the National Project Coordinator and pleaded with him to prioritize this site. So we prioritized the site, and today they came from Abuja some time ago and went to the site. They saw the site, and today we are re-enlisted. By next week, with the grace of God, we'll be going for mission with the Federal Ministry of Environment, the NUMAP team, the European Investment Bank, and UNOPS. They will be coming, and we will meet in Abuja for takeoff grants to commence this project.
All right, so 2-in-1 question I'm going to ask. When you were talking about the attitude of developers, attitude of community leaders, you made mention of residents. How are you tackling the issue of residents causing drainage blockage? And we want to find out from you how far and how much of results are we getting from government's intervention in trying to desilt these blocked drains?
Okay, you see, let me start with Asaba first.
All right.
When I came in, I noticed so many facilities, private facilities like eateries, hotels, that are close to the road. Okay. You know, Asaba, almost all the road have drains. They will channel all their wastes, both kitchen, toilets, they'll channel it to the drain. Then once it's midnight, they'll get their pumping machine and pump it into the public drain. So I started moving around. Once I noticed your pipe that you, I moved with a digger and shovel.
Ready for work.
Yes. So when I notice there is a pipe, I will find the route.
Okay.
And once I find that I've arrested many people. You understand? There is one, a filling station, I'm not going to mention the name.
That's all right.
Yes. A filling station in Asaba, a very big filling station. They channel their waste to pipe to the drain. So somebody reached out to me that the offensive odor is getting is tenants are complaining bitterly that this owner of this facility, they are channeling their waste into the public drain. They do it at midnight. So I said, okay, no problem. So I went there for the first day, could not find anything. So I went there again after like 2 weeks. So I saw the pipe. So I brought a digger. So I started digging. And I found one. There is another outlet inside the filling station facility. So those were connected also. So immediately I seal off that that outlet. So and I find that there's also a pipe. So I dug till I found the filling station. And you see, these people are not just channeling ordinary water, channeling toilet waste. So immediately I sealed the filling station, and a lot of people came calling, begging. And I said, okay, we will accept, but there must be penalty for this attitude. So the penalty is for I gave them some kilometers of drain to desilt, and I asked them to start desilting
Immediately.
And then those artisans. It was around 9 o'clock in the night.
Okay.
They looked for artisans and they deserted the train and cleared it. The next morning, after 12 in the afternoon, about 1 o'clock, I went there. I saw them. They called the services of a tipping truck, and they were walking. So I said, yes. This one will have cost government some millions to do. But
Did you learn this trick from Lagos? Because soon after you got into office, you visited your Lagos state counterpart.
Yes.
To find out how things have been run there.
Exactly.
Like, during that visit, what did you gather from there, and how have you been using that in Delta State? Knowing how Lagos has improved itself.
I gather a lot. First of all, I came with their law. And I studied their law, and we're also working to see how we can take some of their laws, and because some of our laws are so obsolete, you understand. So we need to do some modification and bring it to present day reality. You understand. Apart from that, you see these fiber optics people that they will dig anyhow
to lay their cables.
You don't do that. You don't do that without recourse to the Ministry of Environment. But when before I came in, they dig anyhow they like. But since I came in, you can't dig without coming to get permits. You must dig permits. It's a must. You have to pay a gyro to government.
That's beautiful.
So has that changed anything? Any major thing?
It has changed.
Okay.
First of all, before you come and dig anywhere, you come with your drawing.
All right.
And you come with your environmental impact assessment.
Okay.
That's both the Ministry of Environment, the State Ministry of Environment, and the Federal Ministry of Environment. We holistically work together to achieve. You don't just come and lay pipe anywhere and get it done.
But you know what was interesting for me, Commissioner, is that after going to Lagos, you learned their trick. You came back to Delta State, and recently you were awarded as best performing commissioner. That was even above the Commissioner for Environment there in Lagos State. I think they rated you somebody who did from waste to energy. You tell me about this award and how you came about it.
Okay, I was even surprised because I didn't apply for any awards. Nobody reached out to me that they want to do any awards. So somebody just called my attention and forwarded it to me. So I should go and check.
More commissioners in Nigeria, matter of fact.
So go and check.
Number one.
Go and check Google. So I just typed and I saw it. I said, wow. So till today I'm still looking for
how it happened.
Okay,
now that you're still waiting to see how it happened and to understand it, let's look at another aspect of the environment which concerns you directly: waste disposal in Delta State. How far has your ministry been able to manage waste disposal? Because we still have issues of improper waste disposal in the state.
You know, the Ministry of Environment is the owner of the environment. So I'm not going to apportion any blame to any stakeholder. But I take full responsibility of the environment. You see, when I came in, I find out that we have partnership with the private sector participant, which is the PSP. And the responsibility is to move from house to house, pick waste, take them to the approved dump site. But the problem we are facing is that the PSP have their own faults, while residents also have their own. A lot of them are not complying. You understand? So sometimes we are trying to enforce it to see how we can do operation, show your PSP receipt. There is a day in Asaba, I was just moving around. I entered the compound, and the compound is almost like a dump site. So I called for those who are, it's like a mini estate. So who is picking your waste? Make sure the name. I said, get me a PSP receipt. They brought their PSP receipt. They've paid, I think they've not paid for that previous month, but they've paid just that previous month. So the man refused to come. So I picked my phone and I got the number through the receipt and I called. that I am here, come and meet me here.
Okay.
So the man complained that they hardly pay. So I asked them, yeah, pay immediately now. They paid, and as the man, I picked the waste. So the man picked the waste. So the problem we are having, we need residents to cooperate with government policies. Since governments have said, register. Me, I paid in my quarter as a commissioner for environment. I paid 5,000 every month. So sometimes I'll just pay for 6 months, sometimes like that.
Yes, so beyond what the PSPs are doing, getting waste from residents to to government dump sites, there's the issue of disposal of waste in unapproved dump sites.
Yeah.
To what extent is your ministry tackling that?
Okay, let me give you an instance in my local government because I go home every weekend. There is a place called Okwe Grammar School. They drop this what I call it, a drum where people can be dumping waste.
Okay.
So I reached out to the authority who did that, and I told the authority that this is an eyesore, because first of all, what you are doing now, you are discouraging people from patronizing the PSP.
Okay.
And 1 month, 2 months, they've not picked those wastes. Please remove it. And immediately they removed it. I went to other area, asked them to remove it, and they removed it. You understand? There is a day I was coming from church. I saw somebody. The person sacked waste inside keke, and he rode to what's it called? An illegal dump site.
Like what you are saying on the screen, these are the kind of waste we see in most parts of
Yes,
the state, not
yes.
just your local government.
Yes.
You find this kind of waste even in Asaba.
Yeah. So immediately I arrested the person, and I told the person, "Is this place a dump site?" He said, "No." "Who gave you this waste?" He said, "It's a pastor." I said, "Okay, so pastor, after closing from church, he will not sack his waste and give it to a church member to go and dump illegally." I said, even the Bible said, cleanliness is next to godliness. So you want to clean your church, to litter the town, we will not take this from you. So we have to place them on fire, to clear the place.
Okay, with these measures you're taking now, for the want of time, your ministry's actions so far, to what extent would you say is addressing everything that concerns the Delta environment? Because we're looking at the environmental sustainability of the MORE agenda. Maybe this will just be your last question to answer.
Okay, in all, we, apart from waste management and other, I don't know if you've heard of the Delta Blue Carbon Mosaic project.
Yeah, sure.
You're talking about
sometime in September.
Yes, Delta is a blessed state. We are blessed with mangrove and seagrasses, and mangrove is a very important species when it comes to generating of carbon credit. You agree with me with the way the world is going in no distance time? Carbon credits will be more viable than crude oil that we are seeing as the best, best thing. So we signed partnership with a UK-based company, Serendip Investment, to actualize this project. You see, we've introduced the project to the Honorable Minister for Environment, the Director General, NCCC, and even the Minister of Finance. We introduced the project to him. The former DG, because we have a new DG now.
Okay, just to break it down, so we drop it immediately.
Okay.
So to what extent will this impact on our Delta environment?
First of all, it's going to give us huge revenue.
Okay.
That's the main thing. And we also saw your movement during World Ozone Day and how you took it personally. Exactly. Thank you so much for that. Time is really up.
Time is gone. You will have to come back for continuation of this conversation.
You know, I'm a friend to the fourth realm, so
beautiful.
Welcome.
So we'll talk about some
anytime you call me, if I am very free, I will be here.
There's a lot
to speak to Deltans.
Sure. There's a lot to share with us.
We have a lot to see
it's
because
obvious.
We've done a lot.
Yes,
this administration, when it comes to sustainability of the environment, we've done a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We know they do sure.
Thank you so much.
All
right, thank you.
We'll show it here very soon.
We've been talking with the Honorable Commissioner for Environment, Delta State, as he's been speaking to us on the environmental sustainability of the MORE agenda. We're going to be dropping this conversation here, hoping that very soon we'll have him back to talk to Deltans and residents on the activities of the Delta State Ministry of Environment. Well, we'll be dropping it right here. Time is fast spent. We'll be back Wednesday next for another edition of Morning Ride. Remember to join us tomorrow, being Thursday and Friday, for Morning Ride on Delta Television, Asaba, the People's Pride. On behalf of board, management, and staff of Delta Broadcasting Service, and on behalf of my crew here, the Honorable Commissioner right now is a crew member. Our last word. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being part of Morning Ride. Good morning and goodbye.
Goodbye.